let's jump back to the beginning because now it's life or death for Esther. This is earlier in the day. Esther has been fasting with her peeps. The Jews, they went on a 3-day fast. And so we need to know that's already happened because as they were fasting and praying, they attracted the power and favor of God to the situation. We talked about that a few weeks ago. You should just go to our YouTube channel and watch all the messages if you haven't. But that's where we start. On the 3rd day of the fast, Esther put on her royal robes and entered the inner court of the palace, just across from the king's hall. This word, her royal robes, it's interesting. In Hebrew, often words are more pictorial than they are in our language. This royal robes, it's a kingdom. She was wearing a kingdom. Isn't that interesting? She's so full of splendor, it's like she's a whole kingdom. So picture this, she's walking into the king's hall, and he's on one side, on his throne, and she's on another. And this is where it gets symbolic, she represents a kingdom that is coming to meet another kingdom. And this is a very depraved kingdom over here. This is a kingdom that will just get drunk and make war plans and then waste a bunch of money and traffic a bunch of girls to find a queen. This is the kingdom of the world. And Esther is of the kingdom of God. And she approaches them. He's loud, a little bit crazy. She's soft and poised. When he saw Queen Esther standing there in the inner court, he welcomed her, held out the gold scepter to her. So Esther approached and touched the end of the scepter. The king asked her, he's like, okay, so you might have died, but you've got favor. So Esther, you must want something. What do you want, Queen Esther? What is your request? I will give it to you, even if it is half the kingdom. Now, just so we know, guys, that's not literal. That's just like we might say, I'm so hungry I could eat a horse. Ew, are you gonna eat a horse? No, you're not gonna eat a horse. That just means you're very hungry. So he's just being very generous. He's saying, Esther, whatever you want. Baby girl, I will get it for you. What do you want? If it please the king, let the king and Haman come today to a banquet I've prepared for the king. The king turned to his attendants and said, tell Haman to come quickly to the banquet as Esther has requested. So I don't know what they were doing that day, but he shuts it down. Hey, we're going to this banquet of Esther's right now. So the king and Haman, they go to Esther's banquet. This is one of the ironies that I just want to sidelight in the book, or in the book of Esther. Because sometimes you don't see things unless you're looking at multiple chapters at the same time. Do you remember at the beginning of the book, there was this big hullabaloo about, we're going to pass a law that makes sure every wife obeys her husband. Not that anyone was really having a problem with that, other than maybe the king, and even he wasn't really, but they had meetings about it, and like, we got to pass a law, and send it to all these provinces, we got to get the word out in multiple languages. And yet right here, and for the rest of the book, the king does whatever Esther asks. That's irony. You're supposed to see that. Like, she's got so much favor. See, God doesn't need more laws sometimes. He just needs someone to have a change of heart. He doesn't need, laws are great, I like laws, but he doesn't need them. Sometimes we don't need a new rule. We need God to enter the situation and be a positive influence.